Hello and welcome back to Sack to the Future 1971. This is the final game of
An
the
NFC
week
East
one
battle
of
right off the bat.
1971.
It's the coach. This is week one of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, an important season is about to begin for Eli Manning. His Giants get a tough test
Okay,
right
not
out of the
Eli
gate
Manning.
as they take on the defending NFC East champs, the Dallas.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings...
Okay, so the defending champs of the NFC East, Dallas Cowboys, was correct. But let's go ahead and change this real quick. Sorry, I forgot to do that beforehand. There we go. What? All right. Thought I already had this set for custom down to 0, but anyways, the announcers talking about Eli Manning and stuff, we got to turn that off. But they did say the defending champs were the Dallas Cowboys. That is true. Back in 1970, the Cowboys did win the division. In fact, won the NFC and made it to the Super Bowl, losing on a late field goal to the Baltimore Colts. So the Cowboys definitely the favorites to repeat and win this division. As the favorite and one of the strong favorites to go to the Super Bowl again. The Giants were their big competition in '70, going 9-5, led by the phenomenal rookie Blue Shoes Johnson and Fran Tarkenton. So we'll meet Fran right now. Fran Tarkenton, a Giant now. Of course, last time you saw him on Sack to the Future, he was a Viking. But there he is, Fran Tarkenton. Giants they were right on the trail, hot on the trail of the Dallas Cowboys until late in the year. After a horrible start to the season, then they really ran up a lot of wins in a row. Challenged the Cowboys, but came up a game short at 9-5, whereas the Cowboys went 10-4. And there's Johnson hurt on the first play of the game. So Blue Shoes Johnson, or Ron Blue Shoes Johnson, the great rookie phenom from last year, gets hurt on the very first play of 1971. And that is a major concern for the Giants, who are the team hoping to dethrone the Cowboys as the best in the East. But the second carry will go to running back. Let's take a look at the starting line. Young, Highland, Larson, Van Horn, and Charlie Harper. Duhan and Ron Johnson were the starters. Bob Tucker, Rich Houston, and the other receiver was Don Herman. But now, with Ron Johnson hurt, it looks like they're going to have to go with Duhan and Tucker Fredrickson. Tucker Fredrickson, also in his seventh year now, started off kind of like Ron Johnson with a very good rookie year. Had a injury, not a career-ending injury or anything like that, but he just has not quite got the magic back that he had his first year and a half in the league. But he's going to have to be big now if that's a serious injury to Ron Johnson. But let's meet the Dallas Cowboys starting quarterback, and look at that, Roger Staubach. What a great matchup this is to end. Not only is it two of the prime four Sack to the Future teams who you've seen face each other over and over again, but it's Fran Tarkenton against Roger Staubach. How good is this for a 1971 matchup? Staubach will turn, handoff, and not much room there for Dwayne Thomas. Let's take a look at the line. You got Lisco, Nyland, Manders, Nye, and Rayfield Wright. Dwayne Thomas, Calvin Hill, Mike Ditka, Lance Allworth, and Bob Hayes. Mike Ditka on the Cowboys. Of course, as a Bears fan, I am rooting for Ditka. I'm not sure who I want to win this game, though. Fires downfield and incomplete. That was looking for the speedster Bob Hayes. The Giants had him double cover, though. Kanicki, Lakes, Dreyer, and Reed across the line. Ralph Huck in the middle. John Douglas and Jim Files, the outside backers. The corners are Willie Williams and Otto Brown. Scott Eaton and Spider Lockhart are the safeties. Spider Lockhart, of course, the former cornerback, now moved to safety. Still a fantastic player at 28. Not sure that he necessarily slowed down, but here in his 7th season, the drafting has just brought more and more quicker cornerbacks. And so Spider Lockhart has gone to safety. But the good news is for the Giants, Spider Lockhart, who's not slow by any means, will have depth against Bob Hayes. So he'll start at the safety position quite a bit back. We'll see him covering Bob Hayes over the top, I'm sure, a lot, as he is definitely a threat on the outside. And Staubach fires towards the sidelines. I think he came down with it. He does come down with it inbounds. That's a first down. That was Bob Hayes. Gain of 14. Staubach over the middle now. And Staubach, that was a completion to Dwayne Thomas, and Staubach's off to 3 of 4 start. And now a quick throw to Hayes. Almost a wide receiver screen looking type of play. Just a quick throw, and Hayes gains 5. Giants really need to tighten up here. The Cowboys driving right through them. There's a nice tackle, stopping them short of the first down, but Staubach, you see, 5 of 6. Already up over 50 yards, and now we have a 3rd and 1. Staubach's going to go from the shotgun. Roll, fire, complete. Nice tackle made. I don't know that they gained any yards. That was Ditka, but he was tackled immediately. And the Giants hold. The Cowboys drive right down the throat of the Giants, but the Giants defense holds and forces a field goal attempt. And the kick by Tony Fritsch is good. Nope, Clark. What was I talking about? Not Fritsch. Fritsch invited to camp, but not kicking. It's Mike Clark, of course, from Texas A&M, that makes the field goal. And there is a kick return out to the 23-yard line. And now the Giants will get their second crack at it. Let's see if Ron Johnson comes out, the electrifying rookie, injured on the very first carry. And we're hoping it was just a solid hit and nothing of real concern. I think that's Ron Johnson right there. Okay, so good news for the Giant fans. Bob Lilly, Jethro Pugh, George Andre, and Larry Cole on the line. Leroy Jordan, Chuck Howley, Dave Edwards are the linebackers. You got Cliff Harrison, Cornell Green as the safeties. Mel Renfro and Herb Adderley are the corners. So some big names there on the defensive side of the ball. There's a handoff. Nice block, and Johnson gets up to 38-yard line. So there you go. When Johnson's healthy, you see they have a very formidable running back, and Fran Tarkenton controlling the passing game makes the Giants a scary team, offensively at least. Not much known other than Spider Lockhart on defense, so that's where the question comes in. There is a jump by the tackle. Again, we just saw the star-studded lineup of the Cowboys defense, so you can't fault the Giants much for jumping. The crowd not too loud yet, but the defense is still intimidating. And speaking of intimidation, Bob Lilly just throws his blocker aside, comes and drills Fran Tarkenton, who drops the ball. And then Andre came in and recovered the fumble. It's play action. Look how fast Lilly gets off his block. By the time he fakes it, Lilly's already there. Destroys Tarkenton. Let's see if he might have been down, though. Hit. Does he get... Nah, it's hard to see. It looks like the ball's out before his elbow was down, but was his knee down? Cowboys are coming down the field. So it is going to be a costly turnover for the Giants, and Staubach starts at the 21-yard line, already up 3-0. Play action pass. Staubach looking in the end zone and intercepted. Looking for Bob Hayes. We talked about it earlier. Bob Hayes, the Giants were going to try to cover him deep, give him some space underneath. Staubach went for the kill right after the turnover, and it's actually picked off in the end zone. So the Giants survive that fumble by forcing a turnover of their own. And the Giants get the ball back at the 20-yard line, so no harm, no foul. Fumble followed off by an interception. And now the Giants will try again. 2nd and 9. There's a pitch out to Johnson, who's got nowhere to go. Cornell Green came flying in there and disrupted that play. And his teammates finish it off. Leroy Jordan with the tackle. And 3rd and 17 coming. Look at that. Nowhere to go. What is Green doing in there that quick is what Johnson's thinking. 3rd and 17. The Giants have been moving backwards too often. And Lilly put some pressure on Tarkenton again, who, I thought he completed it, but that was Green again that popped it loose. So Cornell Green making his presence felt all over the field, behind the line, and then downfield on the next back-to-back plays. Looks like he went up and made a nice catch, but Green just put the shoulder into him and knocked it out. And the Giants will have to punt. It's a pretty good punt all the way across to the 35-yard line. There's a broken tackle, stays inbounds, and that's Lance Allworth on the punt return. Roger Staubach, 6 of 8. 6 of his first 7, then, of course, through that interception. So, again, the Cowboys in the Super Bowl in 1970, real life. So going into 1971, definitely favorites, one of the favorites here in the Zack to the Future world. But for you historians, the real life 71 Cowboys did win the Super Bowl. And we know that thus far in Zack to the Future, no real life champion has ever won the Zack to the Future Super Bowl. Staubach trying to change that this year, turns, fires, and Dwayne Thomas jumps out of bounds before catching it, which is interesting. Staubach's now thrown 2 incompletions in a row. Staubach with a quick fire. Is that going to be considered a run? It is. Bob Hayes with a 3-yard loss on the run attempt because it was a backward pass. That's the second time they've tried that little screen. This time it was a little bit further behind the line, though. 3rd and 13 now. Captain America drops back, throws underneath, and knocked out of Dwayne Thomas's hand. So the Giants hold on defense again and force another punt. Well, actually, this is the first punt. First drive was a field goal. Second drive was an interception. And this is the first punt by the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, Fran Tarkenton. A punt, a fumble, and another punt. He would like to do something better than those outcomes. And Tarkenton flies back, fires to the right side, and completes for a first down. First completion by Tarkenton. I believe that was Rich Houston on the catch. There's a handoff to Tucker Fredrickson. He gets just the 1 yard. Looks like Fredrickson and Johnson out there for this one. 2nd and 9. Fran Tarkenton, a delayed give to Johnson, who comes across the 30, gets up to the 33-yard line. 6 carries, 19 yards now so far for Johnson. So this is not the Monday night game per se, but it is the last game of week 1 of Zack to the Future. because it's the last one that's going to be broadcast. So we may, depending what time it is, we may take a look at week 2 at the end of this game. Let's see maybe if there's any players of the week for week 1, that kind of thing. Was that Jordan again? I can't tell which linebacker it was, but somebody just violently threw the Giant running back to the ground, fumbled the football. Johnson's got it. There you see, just driven into the ground by Leroy Jordan. Bam. Okay, that's not a fumble. The ground caused the fumble. Doesn't matter. Giants recovered it, so who cares? Tarkinen drops back, throws across the middle. That's complete. And Leroy Jordan is coming with some violent tackles here in this game. And that was a quick quarter. First quarter's already over. The Giants trail the Dallas Cowboys 3-0, but they're on the move. Here's Johnson keeping the legs moving. Jethro Pugh actually hit him forward, so he ends up being a 4-yard gain. Fredrickson comes in motion. Tarkinen will throw to the outside, and it's knocked away. Knocked away there at the last minute by the corner, Herb Adderley. 10-year in his now 11th year out of Michigan State, the longtime Green Bay Packer. And now the Giants are going to try to tie this thing from 52 yards away. It's always interesting with these kickers in the 70s, and just enough leg by Gogolak to tie the game from 52 yards. Look at that. Woo! That was just enough. So 13 and a half minutes left in the first half. The heavily favored Cowboys and their division rival New York Giants are tied at 3. All right. So Wells with a 25-yard return, and then a little bit of extracurriculars. But there's Hayes and Staubach discussing how they are going to get Hayes some room out there, as the Giants have been playing him pretty tight so far. See, the Cowboys have the slight edge in total yardage. Both receivers to the right side of Staubach, and now the second tight end goes that way. Oh, no, he goes back as the fullback now. They'll hand it off, and Thomas will get a yard or two. 21 yards now on 4 carries. Now Staubach puts his receivers on his left side. And a delayed handoff to Thomas, who fights for just 2 more. Brings up a 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7 here. Staubach back to pass. Takes another step back. Delivers underneath to Thomas. He turns it into a first down. Shows good acceleration. And gets up to the 40-yard line. Douglas already up to 5 tackles for the Giants. Staubach now. Another tight end going in motion. Will he get the playoff? He does right at the last minute. Handoff. That's not Thomas. That's Calvin Hill, who gets 3 yards. And now a split eye formation again. The play action pass. Staubach looking deep. And it is caught. Bob Hayes, he found him deep for the touchdown. Unleashes the bullet. Bob Hayes. Huge play. Roger Staubach. We've seen it before. We've seen it from Tears back in the day. And now here it continues, although the quarterback a little bit better now here in 71, but Bob Hayes still. Bob Hayes had to fight away from the Giant to get that touchdown. What's going on there? But he was, in fact, across the line, so it is a touchdown. Just like that, the hard-fought 3-3 game is now 10-3 because Staubach hit Bob Hayes with a deep one. 5-play, 76-yard drive for the touchdown. And now let's see what the Giants can answer with from the 3, across the 20, gets a block, 25, decent return. Giants starting at their own 28-yard line. Now you see the total yards quite a bit in the favor of the Cowboys after that big play to Hayes. And there's a pitch out to Johnson. And this time the old reliable Chuck Howley, who said that the old veterans lose steps. He was in there in quite a hurry. And Johnson tackled behind the line. There are a lot of stars on this Cowboys team, and the Giants are finding that out if they didn't know before the game. But there's a nice throw by Tarkenton out to Houston, up to the 45-yard line. Now again, the Giants aren't going to be intimidated. Last year they were both, coming down to the wire, challenging for the division. Lost it in just the last couple weeks. Finished one game behind the Cowboys. There's no Bob Hayes to throw to for the quick one deep play touchdown, but Fran Tarkenton, a master in his own right. And if they can nickel and dime or whatever they need to do to get this ball in the end zone and tie it up. Runs into his own man after first breaking a tackle. Johnson gets a few yards, those 7 yards in total. He's up over 40 now. Again, the Giants were scared on the first play of the game when Ron Johnson went out to an injury. And big Bob Lilly with his second sack already. It's the second time he is, oh boy. And that's going to be a lot of fun for the Giants as Bob Lilly has entered the zone. Let's see how they block him now. They haven't done a very good job up until now. Let's keep an eye on him going. Oh, they chop blocked him. Okay, that's one way. Johnson, for some reason, decides to go backwards and turn his 2 or 3 yard gain into a no-yard gain. And 4th and 10, I didn't even realize it was 3rd down, 3rd and long, and they handed it off. That's how terrified they were of getting Tarkenton hit yet again by Bob Lilly. So the Giants punt, and the Cowboys will take over at the 16. They're going to have to back even further off of Bob Hayes as he beat them deep last play. There's a handoff to Thomas. 6 carries, 30 yards. See, the Cowboys have come out throwing more than running so far. Staubach back to pass again. Throw. Complete. There's Bob Hayes again. Bob Hayes already off to a nice start to the 71 season. 4 catches, 84 yards, and a touchdown. Staubach quick drop, spin move, and then throws it. Staubach just showing off a little bit there. That's Lance Allworth on the other side of that one, his first catch of the day. And the Cowboys continue to drive, still on their own side of the field. A quick drop, 2-step drop by Staubach this time, and hits Allworth again. So back-to-back completions to Allworth. And now Staubach will go back into the shotgun. 2nd and 4. Hayes in motion. Staubach slings it underneath. That's the 3rd consecutive play that has gone to Lance Allworth. And now it's a 3rd and 1, and Staubach will go back under center. There's the handoff, and a nice hole opens up for Thomas, who gets up to the 41-yard line. 7 carries, 37 yards, averaging over 5 yards a carry. That takes us down to the 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning here from Dallas, Texas. Cowboys on top of their bitter rival, the Giants, 10-3. Staubach hits Mike Ditka. Ditka, never the fastest man, but he's slowed down even from that modest speed. But he can still catch the ball and still break tackles, so also still a good blocker. Plenty useful. Staubach fires downfield, hits Allworth again, and you're getting a look at just how dangerous this team is. Hayes on one side, Allworth on the other. Not only Ditka, who's been featured, but also Billy. I always screw this name up. Billy. Is it Truow? True? Billy. For some reason, I can't remember. None of those sound right. Anyways, they have 2 tight ends and 2 good receivers. Staubach, of course, a great quarterback. Nyland, Neely, Wright, pretty good linemen. And then, of course, they have a whole defense as well. Staubach from the 3. Throws over the middle. It's complete. That's Bob Hayes' second touchdown of the season and of the game, as this is week 1. So Staubach making it look relatively easy against the Giants here. And now it was close for a while, but the Cowboys have put touchdowns, Staubach to Hayes on the last 2 drives. And it's now 17-3, 12 play, 83-yard drive that took 5 minutes off the clock. And let's see what the Giants do with 50 seconds to go. I believe the Cowboys get the ball to start the second half. So the Giants probably need to come out and get some points here. They do have all 3 timeouts. Lily's still on fire, though. Look at that. You have one guy lit up, 3 other guys with stars under him. And there's Fran Tarkenton not caring about any of it. Finding his receiver for a first down. Clifton McNeil on the catch. Fran Tarkenton backs up a little bit further, then gets a little bit further away from Lilly and fires out to the side. A nice broken tackle made there. And that turns a little short pass into a first down. Bob Tucker, the tight end for the Giants, has 3 catches already. Fran Tarkenton across the middle, and this time the Cowboys are ready for it. Picked off and returned all the way. A broken tackle. He might go all the way down to the 16, 15-yard line. Edwards. So Fran Tarkenton trying to get points, ends up turning it over. Edwards dropped back a little bit deeper after the Giants had shown that crossing pattern a couple times already. And Edwards with the adjustment right there for the interception. And now the Cowboys have a chance to put more points on the board. Staubach from the shotgun. Great protection. Oh, that's going to be called incomplete. It seemed like he took a couple steps. I thought that might be a catch and a fumble, but we'll say incomplete. 19 seconds to go. Staubach throws downfield to Bob Hayes, but he's not in the end zone. He's just short this time. And the Cowboys do have a timeout, so they will take it. That was the last timeout of the Cowboys, so Staubach cannot get sacked here. 15 seconds to go from the 2. Quick drop. Fade pattern to Hayes. I think he caught it, but he couldn't get the second foot down, so it's incompletion. Second and goal. Staubach hit as he throws it, but did get the ball out. And so there you go, back up into the shotgun, man. It's that was close to them getting no points. Staubach now throws it over the middle. That's complete for the touchdown. Iron Mike Ditka fires the ball into the stands. The costly turnover by Fran Tarkenton. Staubach makes him pay with his 3rd touchdown pass of the first half. And the Cowboys all over the Giants, 23-3. Well, This is just a talent gap. A talent gap in this game, and it's showing. And the Cowboys are enjoying being able to do this to their division rivals. 24-3. The Giants probably came in with the thought of ball control, keep Captain America and company on the sidelines, but now it's 24-3. It's going to be Fran Tarkenton throwing a lot in the second half. If they're going to have any hope of coming back from this one. We'll see if the halftime report will show us any scores. Look at that. Cowboys already over 200 yards in the air. I'm sure we'll get Bears, but let's see if there's anything else useful. Usually I skip these things, but we'll look at it. Steelers at okay. All right. Stupid. So the Patriots won. It showed you that, but absolutely no stats. So we'll go back to the game. Cowboys get the ball. Already up 24-3. Now there are semi-pro teams still in this league. 6 of them, I believe. The Seahawks and Bucks are still semi-pro, and then of course Texans, Ravens, Jaguars, Panthers. So and none of the semi-pro teams played each other. So 6 games were real teams against semi-pro teams. But if you don't count those, then I think the biggest blowout when it did not involve a semi-pro team, I don't think any game was decided by more than 20 points. So right now, if this score stands, this would be the biggest blowout of week 1. Hopefully the Giants can make it competitive in the second half. But right now, Fran's watching as Staubach completes to Bob Hayes. Tarkenton wishing he had a Bob Hayes on his team, I'm sure about that. Bob Hayes, 9 catches, 129 yards already. There he goes in motion, and Staubach hits him. Just a small little pass, but another catch. Bob Hayes up to 10 catches already. He's trying to get player of the week now. 10 for 133 and 2 touchdowns. He might already be player of the week. Staubach will fire downfield. Lance Allworth. It's just not fair. It's not fair. I mean, Bob Hayes is going to demand attention, but how do you not pay attention to Lance Allworth? And if you don't send more than 4, how are they ever going to get through the Cowboys' offensive line? And then even if you do all that, Roger Staubach can still move around and avoid sacks from time to time. There's the first reception for Richardson. There we go. Richardson, number 31, with his first reception. So finally someone different, just to remind you that he has more weapons than you even know about. There's a handoff to Thomas. He kind of slow played it and then went darting to the left. It worked for 4 yards. Thought it might have been a bigger play. Roger throws underneath. Roger the Dodger not having to do much dodging because his offensive line is just dominating this game. There's a quick handoff to the fullback, and that's a touchdown. Nicely done. They give it to Walt Garrison, and he gets into the end zone. First rushing touchdown by the Cowboys. And we are at 30-3. John M., if you tune in, sorry. Tears, if you turn in, congratulations. One team looks like the experts got it right, and they should be one of the favorites to go back to the Super Bowl. And the other team does not look like the biggest challenger. which they were hopeful that they would be. Oh, but here, look at this return. There's something for Giant fans. A big, huge return. That is the best return of the opening weekend so far. Thompson gets all the way to the opponent's 41-yard line. A couple nice blocks, a good move, and then some speed. And he gets out to the 41. Nice return. Look at the total yards, 316 to 111. On the ground, it's about the same, but in the air, the Cowboys are just dominating. Tarkenton's going to take off and run 40-35, hit and fumble as he decides not to slide. Howley picks it up but can't keep his feet, so he'll go down at the 42. So that huge return is wasted. Tarkenton has now fumbled twice and thrown an interception. Just not his best game, but let's hold on a second. You see Howley just falling down. Teammates are going to make fun of him for that, but let's see here. I couldn't tell. I think the ball's out before he goes down. They don't need to look at it, so yes, the ball was out before he went down. Cowboys all over the Giants. It's just insane. There's a handoff to Dwayne Thomas. The Giants all over Dwayne Thomas on that one. A little bit of revenge. But it hasn't been the running game that's destroyed the Giants. It has been the passing game. Feels weird to say early in the third quarter, but are the Cowboys going to take Roger Staubach and some other people out? Dwayne Thomas gets pulled to the ground, but by his face mask. So after losing 3 yards and then losing another 3, it could have been a 3rd and 16. Instead of all that, it's a first down because Otto Brown, out of frustration, just rips Dwayne Thomas down to the ground by the face mask. And this is just not how the Giants wanted to start their season. Completely frustrated. And now the handoff to Thomas. He'll get a couple yards. Well, Staubach has punished the Giants enough. They could literally probably just hand off the rest of the game and still hold on to this lead. But I'm sure there'll be a couple passes still from Staubach mixed in there. Calvin Hill gets his second carry. 2 carries, 4 yards. 3rd and 5. Roger might be throwing on this particular play. He is, and he throws over the middle, and that better not be Ditka. Oh, Mike Ditka drops the ball for no reason. Unless it was a mercy drop, but I don't really think Ditka shows mercy right in his hand. You can't throw the ball any better. That's a couple... Well, Ditka, I'm sure, is going to regret that one. But at least if you're going to drop and pass where it hits you right in the numbers, at least do it when you're up 31-3. Team doesn't seem to care as much when you already got the game in the bag. Bob Lilly almost got there for his 3rd sack, but Tarkenton was able to get rid of the ball. Fran Tarkenton is actually 7 out of 10. That's not the problem. The problem is the 1 interception and the 2 fumbles. Fran back to pass again, throws complete, tackled immediately, and that's only a 1-yard gain. Bob Tucker, 4 catches. There's a pitch out to Johnson. Gets a nice block. And, man, the whole team was blocked except for the corner there. But Herb Adderley was able to shut it down single-handedly. Brant Tarkenton with a pump fake and then throws it into double coverage. And that is picked off by Mark Washington. No. Yes. Yes? Yeah, Mark Washington with the interception. The 13th round draft pick a year ago. Now in his 2nd year out of Morgan State. Gets the interception. That's turnover number 4 for the Giants. So sack to the Giants continue to turn the ball over and sack to the future. There's a handoff to Thomas, who gets 4 yards. 3rd and 6 coming up. 5 minutes to go. No question who's going to win the game. The only question is what the score is going to be. And also, I guess, how many turnovers the Giants are going to commit. Staubach fires to Lance Allworth. Also, I guess there's an outside chance that Allworth could come back and catch Bob Hayes in receptions. Not going to catch him in yards, though, I don't think. Lance Allworth at 31. Not as fast as he used to be. There's Ditka making up for that drop earlier. Ditka down to the 7-yard lines. The Cowboys are over 300 yards in the air. Roger Staubach having himself a game. Ditka 6 catches for 57 yards and a touchdown. Not bad. Play action pass. Look at the time. This offensive line is just insanely good, and Bob Hayes has his 3rd touchdown catch. What is going on? Can anyone beat the Cowboys? Can anyone even compete with the Cowboys is what the league is going to be asking themselves now. Look at this. Bob Hayes, 3 touchdowns. Ditka's got 6 catches. Allworth has 6 or 7 catches. Dwayne Thomas isn't running exceptional or anything, but he's doing enough, a little bit. And it's all Dallas all the time. Defense has forced 4 turnovers. Lilly has a couple sacks. 38-3. That might be the end of Staubach's night if the computer does such things. No reason to keep him out there unless they just want to break records statistically. Horrible beginning of the season for the Giants. Absolutely outstanding. The last game the Cowboys played, of course, was the Super Bowl that they lost. A heartbreaker against the Colts. So they are back in a major way, taking all their offseason frustration out on the New York Giants. And if the Johnson breaks a tackle, fighting hard still. Second and 4. It's nice to see the Giants continuing to run the ball. I mean, it's 38-3. Can't possibly come back. So there's no reason to have Fran just stand back there and get slaughtered and or throw 6 interceptions. There's another handoff, but the Cowboys won't even give him a first down. Cowboys up by 5 touchdowns, and they won't even allow the Giants to get a first down. Giants will punt again. They would probably gladly just shake hands at this point and say, we're 0-1, please just stop the game. But no such thing in the NFL. You play all 60 minutes. They are division rivals. We'll see if there's any late hits on Roger. If he throws, he's going to throw on this play. But how can you, oh my gosh, Allworth just made. What did Allworth just do to that poor man? Willie Williams. Are they going to show the replay? Throws out Willie Williams. Whoop. Oh, Willie Williams. Willie Williams was grasping at air as Lance Allworth just punished him with that move like this. Did he? I don't even think he touched him with a finger. Williams comes up with absolutely nothing. And that's the second option, folks. That's the Cowboys' second option. Leroy Jordan kicking field goals on the sidelines. It's all smiles and happiness on the Cowboys sideline. There's Dwayne Thomas breaking 1-2 tackles, but not the third one. Whew. Cowboys over 400 yards on the day, on the first 3 quarters. And Staubach will just pop up and fire to Allworth. I'm telling you, it seems like Staubach is playing this game where he's going to try to get Allworth to catch Bob Hayes in receptions, because the regular game is not a contest, so they have to make it up as look at that. First quarter was nice, close, 3-0, then 21-3 in the second, 14-0 in the third. Second and third quarters saw the Cowboys outscore the Giants 35-3. Okay, Bob Hayes in motion. Staubach's gonna throw. Complete to True. I'm gonna have to listen. I cannot remember his name. Okay. Athos doesn't make the tackle though to send the Cowboys into. Is that their second punt? I know he punted one other time. I think that's only the second time that the Cowboys had to punt. So here we go. Can the Giants put 5 touchdowns on the board in one quarter? I doubt it. But can they put 1 on the board? That's the game. Oh my gosh. That was almost Edwards' second interception. He knocks it down though, as Tarkenton at least had some heat on it. Tark drops back a little bit further, and now he's going to take off and try to run, but he falls into his own lineman, and then it's a face mask, so pulled down with one hand by Chuck Howley, but that one hand was grabbing his face mask, so that's one of the biggest plays of the Giants afternoon is 15 yards. Tarkenton throws underneath, complete. Tarkenton up to 99 yards. His next completion will put him over 100. Houston's 4th catch. Fran, quick drop, quick throw. That's complete. Houston again. So Tarkenton now 10 of 15, over 100 yards. Still chasing Roger, who's over 300. Another quick drop, and Lilly, you're going to have to drop farther back than that. Bob Lilly with his 3rd sack of the day. The Cowboys, are they going to tell me how many sacks the Cowboys have in total? They are not. But Lilly's got 3 of them. I think the Cowboys might have 5 sacks as a team. Double teaming Lilly now, it's a good idea. Tarkenton runs away from him anyways and gets hit, does not fumble. Down to the 39-yard line, 3rd and 6 now. Tarkenton drops back, quick throw, complete to the tight end Tucker. And he is tackled short by Cornell Green, who had an explosive first quarter and has kind of been quiet. But comes up with a nice tackle there. For a 55-yard attempt from Gogolak. Their only points was a 52-yard attempt, and this is blocked. Oh my goodness. The Cowboys won't even let the Giants get a field goal attempt off. It's blocked, picked up, and returned for a touchdown by Cliff Harris. That's just rude, man. 38-3. The Giants just trying to test Gogolak's leg to see how far he can kick it. Ike Thomas having none of it. Comes off the edge, blocks it, and then Cliff Harris picks it up and goes all the way for a touchdown. That counts as a turnover, a block kick does, so that's 5 turnovers now for the Giants and 45 points for the Cowboys. Okay, this is definitely the biggest blowout of not involving semi-pro teams, but it's getting close to maybe the biggest blowout involving semi-pro teams. I think the Saints got to play a semi-pro team and really put a whooping on them. I want to say maybe something like 45-0 or so. But the Cowboys are treating the Giants as if they were a semi-pro team. And the Giants actually lead the battle of the ground games, but there's Andre getting a sack. Andre's got 1.5. Lily's got 3. The Cowboys have at least, no, only 5. I thought that was at least their 6th, but 5 sacks. The sacks are 5-0. Giants do not have a sack on the Cowboys, as their line has looked amazing today. Tarkenton, feeling Lilly coming, just takes off and gets a couple yards. Tarkenton running for his life, basically. I don't know. 45-3. I don't know why he's even in there to take this punishment. Fires off of his back foot, and that's knocked down. You have a season to think about here. This game's not turning around. And the Cowboys just pinning their ears back. You got to start running the ball again and or putting the backup Randy Johnson in there, because you don't want to lose your quarterback on top of getting embarrassed all in week one. Staubach now from the shotgun. Are they going to continue to throw? No, okay. So they do hand off in the Giants. Well, the only thing the Giants have done well is corral Dwayne Thomas. So I guess they continue to focus on that 1 feet, as they've only allowed 51 yards on the ground so far. And again, they handle the run. So now it's 3rd and 12. Look at the Cowboys have thrown 41 times out of 60 plays. And he's going to throw again. There was some contact there, but no flag. It could also be just a mercy flag, as if to say, come on. Why are we still throwing? I guess there's no danger. I was going to say take Staubach out. You don't want him to get hurt. But the Giants have literally got nowhere near him this entire game. The offensive line of the Cowboys has been as dominant as anything we've seen in Sack to the Future for quite some time as far as an offensive line is concerned. So I guess he can just throw as much as he wants when there's literally no pressure ever coming, unlike Grant Darkadin, who's been harassed all day long by Bob Lilly. Bob Lilly has 4 sacks in the first game and shows his basketball moves. Darkadin's going to have to drop back deeper, and the line of the Giants is scared to death, so they false start. I expected the Cowboys win. I'm not going to lie. I expected them to win by a couple touchdowns even, but this is a 6-touchdown lead, and Grant Darkadin is just getting killed. Leroy Jordan this time. Sacks. There's 7 sacks in this game, which is about average, but all 7 by the one team is not. I guess it's a little bit above average. Even for the 70s. But 7 is definitely above average. So I meant 7 combined could be about average. So I guess there's plenty of time to talk about what to look forward to in Sack for the Future. So again, as you saw this week, every week of the 71 season and beyond, you will see both of these teams, the Cowboys and Giants. You'll also see the Bears and the Buffalo Bills. So all 4 of those teams will always be in action. Broadcast action, I should say. And so we'll pepper some other games throughout. My preference, of course, is either real life champions, which in 71 is the Cowboys, so we already got that covered. Super Bowl losers, which the real life 71 team was the Dolphins, so we might see some Dolphins games. And the other 4. So if you've hung around and watched Sack to the Future, you know these are the primary 4, Cowboys, Giants, Bills, and Bears. And then the other 4 would include the Oilers, Broncos, Falcons, and Browns. Everyone except for the Falcons being in the AFC. And since 3 of the 4 primary teams are in the NFC, I guess the preference is it's probably going to work out where you'll see, if you see a 5th team in action for a week, it's probably going to be Broncos, Oilers, or Browns most of the time, unless the matchup is just such that it's better to see. Oh, there's a ghost man. Let me write that down. Benny McRae is so embarrassed that he has disguised himself in invisible paint. I was going to say it'll probably be the Browns, Oilers, or Broncos just because the AFC, that could showcase more AFC teams, such as the Raiders, the Chiefs, Chargers, some of the other good teams. The Bills are the only representative in the AFC, so to make sure we see some more AFC teams in action, it'll probably be the fifth choice, if you will probably be Broncos, Oilers, or Browns. And then there could be a week or two if I'm just feeling like I want to broadcast everything. There could be a week or two that you get 6 different games, but most likely, we'll probably stick to, 4 or 5. Again, it just depends how it goes. Fran Tarkenton is trying to run for more than he's thrown for, I guess is his game. Oh my goodness. They cannot guard Bob Lilly with one guy. They've double teamed him with a little bit of success. He got through the double team once he got a sack, but when they single block him, if you look at that, look at it's just 50. Bob Lilly comes off the stand, another ghost man. So all the Giants are hiding. As now, Ralph Heck doesn't want to be seen either. I was going to say the poor center. Again, stop single blocking Bob Lilly. That's 6 sacks and 2 on back-to-back plays because Greg Larson cannot block Bob Lilly. There's absolutely no way. It's unfair to even ask. Look at that. That's the second time in a row that he just gets slammed back. Tarkenton did a good job just to get away from being sacked by his center. But then, of course, Bob Lilly followed it up with a sack himself. It's just, he's a man possessed. And then Tarkenton gets rid of the ball instantly because Bob Lilly's going to kill him again and throws it right into the hands of Mel Renfro. And, of course, because it's the Cowboys, he's not going to slide or anything and say game over. He's going to take it into the end zone for a pick 6. And the Cowboys just hate their division rivals, and that's why most people hate the Cowboys, but they don't care. When they have this much talent, they don't care if they're hated, as it's 51-3. They have now, I believe, blown out the Giants more than the teams that got to play semi-pro teams blew out their opponents. It's getting a little bit ridiculous, 52-3. Hopefully the Giants can understand it's only one loss, no matter, if they would have lost this game 7-3 or 52-3, either way, it's only 0-1. But when you get whooped like this, it can definitely have lasting effects. The Cowboys, of course, expect to win every game anyways, but when you win 52-3 to start the season, they should be full to the brim with confidence going into week 2. Bob Lilly, they double team him, thank God. Because Fran Tarkenton needs to live. I like Fran. Don't necessarily like the Giants, but I like Fran Tarkenton. Bob Lilly spun out of a double team and almost sacked Fran Tarkenton. Good Lord. For people that thought Bob Lilly was overrated, well, now you'll just think I overrated him. But Bob Lilly is a one-man wrecking machine. And the Giants mercifully will punt and tell Fran Tarkenton to just sit down and please start healing. So Allworth returns it up to the 28. 27 seconds. Can the Cowboys please just kneel the ball? Of course not. If they play action pass and hit Bob Hayes, I am just going to lose it. Okay, they do hand off. And please don't call timeout, Giants. It'd be completely stupid. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The most lopsided game of Week 1 finally comes to an end. The Dallas Cowboys kick the doors, fence, windows, walls, everything down from the New York Giants. Staubach's player of the game. I thought it would be Bob Lilly with 6 sacks, although I guess Lilly had at least 3 of those after the game was over, whereas Staubach was lighting up the Giants mostly in the first half. So I guess that makes sense. I'm okay with it. Staubach and Lilly were both amazing. The whole Cowboys offensive line was also amazing. Giants had more rushing yards, but the Cowboys had over 400 total yards and 6 takeaways. The NFC better be prepared as the Cowboys look like they want to go back to the Super Bowl. Ditka, last man off. And let's take a look real quick here at the players of the week. Staubach and Lilly both have chances to be player of the... Okay, let's just skip that, whatever. Oh, there's Ralph. Huck without. I'll have to fix that later. But what you guys want to see is players of the week. We can go through standings real quick. In the North, you see the Bengals and Browns were winners. The semi-pro team Ravens and Steelers were losers. In the South, the Colts. There's only 2 real teams: the Colts who won and the Oilers who lost. And then the 2 semi-pro teams lost 56-0. Okay, so that was the biggest blowout. The semi-pro team Texans lost by 56. The Giants were the second biggest blowout. Bills, Dolphins, and Patriots. That's odd that they have the Jets in third, but Patriots, Bills, and Dolphins all won. Jets lost. Broncos won. Chiefs won. Chargers lost. Raiders lost. Bears, the only winner. Heck yeah, that's what I love to see. Bears won. Everyone else in the division lost. Perfect week for myself. Bucks are not real yet, and the Panthers aren't either. So the 2 semi-pro teams lose. The 2 real teams win. Falcons and Saints. Cowboys, you just saw won. Eagles also won. Giants and Redskins. That's right. It says Washington Redskins are the losers. And then you got the Cardinals, 49ers, and Rams all winning. This semi-pro team, Seahawks, with the loss. Okay, so that's your standings. We'll go ahead and... Ooh, the Giants get the Bills next week. Okay. Let's go ahead and force it. Take a look at week 2. Real quick here, see what kind of games we have. All right, Bucks, Panthers. Okay, so 2 semi-pro teams against each other. So that's nice. We won't. It's better when they play each other, so they don't have to play real teams. Okay, Cowboys at Redskins, another divisional game. So that the next game might be the Cowboys again. Then you got Bills at Giants. That's definitely. I mean, it's double. That's prime squared. Also a 1:00 game. And then where are the Bears at? Yeah. Bears Broncos, interesting. Okay, so the Bears, since they're playing the Broncos, then you will get all 4 of the prime 4 and 1 of the secondary 4 already. If we do a bonus game, and I'm not sure yet, but if there's a bonus game, we could throw the Browns in there. Where are the Oilers at? Ooh. I like Colts Oilers probably better just because the Colts are the defending champions. So, yeah, if there's a 5th game, it's probably Colts and Oilers. But, again, we don't know. I don't know for sure if that game will happen or not. But there you go. That's your week 2. Is there anything for players of the week? Does it show up in news? I forgot. No, whatever. Okay. All right. So that's it. Thank you for watching. That's it for week 1. Week 2, we'll start off with another Cowboys game. Be Cowboys Redskins. And until then, have a good time.